Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Software Engineer K here, and today we are going to be discussing Illuvium. Does Illuvium have the potential to become the best Web3 game in the space? Why am I also looking to re-enter Illuvium? What is my criteria? What is my entry point? And also a really cool update from today regards to Illuvium Zero. So we will get straight into it. Now, Illuvium was a project that I was invested in the peak of last bull run, so I did sell my tokens. It was around about $1,200 a token. I decided to go with the variable lockup rate for that reason, because I didn't want to kind of be fixed into a fixed period where I had to wait for the unlock, just in case the bull market did reverse, which is exactly what happened. And also I didn't want to kind of have my tokens unlocked same time as everyone else, because as we know, whenever there's a big influx or supply of a token or any asset really, you will get people selling off, taking profits, and that will apply a lot of sell pressure on the market, obviously bringing prices down. Easy peasy. Now, Illuvium, at the time, there were some red flags for me. For example, they were missing some deadlines, timelines, which for many game studios is normal. That's fair enough. They did also have that big exploit with the SLV pool. They had to drain the liquidity. That was a much bigger red flag. And there was also the kind of issue around regulatory compliance as well. At the time, I did reach out to the team asking what is the repercussions with regards to staking the ILV token to get ILV rewards, especially with the SEC stance on kind of staking for rewards when you're not doing any kind of real work for those staking rewards. And I didn't really get a very good reply back, so I decided to kind of hedge my risk and sell my tokens at the time and get back into it when I felt more confident. And that is exactly how I am feeling now. So today I did get this email, and this is all about the release of Illuvium Zero Season 1. So for those who don't know, Illuvium Zero is kind of like, similar to Farmville, if you ever played that back in the day. Your own kind of resource farming game where you build structures and you kind of, collect and craft things. So you are going to be kind of collecting and crafting, for example, your Illuvitars using the biodata. And so this is really cool for many aspects, but one key one is, especially for the mainstream gamers, it's always been a problem having too much under one roof. Historically, when you have many desktop-based games, you want certain aspects to be ported to mobile. Just if they're aspects that can be separated, for example, interfacing with a marketplace. Maybe you don't want to have the whole game on mobile just for the the costs and the sheer size of it on mobile, and also it'll be a bit of a nightmare as well. But you might want to interface with, let's say, a marketplace, which probably doesn't require crazy GPU rendering capabilities, and that's exactly what Illuvium Zero has done. So being portable on mobile, people can continue to farm and kind of interface with the Illuvium ecosystem in some way whilst on the go. Now, I would like to see more use of the Illuvium token. The Illuvium token was also something that I was a bit unsure of at the time. Mainly because it is a governance token, but now over time we've kind of started to see more of the benefits of that governance side, especially when it comes to council members. So council members, they also get distributed rewards, as well as you can receive rewards through various other means. That is part of one of the uses of Illuvium, the IOV token. It serves as a in-game currency for the Illuvium ecosystem. Now, again, the staking, like I said earlier, that grants you SLV tokens, which is purely an in-game currency, but it is pegged to Illuvium. So you could use it for the land sale, which they had, I believe, last year. They raised about $74 million from land sales. So that is fantastic as well. And Illuvium Land, that is compulsory if you want to participate in Illuvium Zero when it comes to searching for your resources. Now, Illuvium, it does leverage quite a few different technologies. One of those is Immutable X. Now, the benefit of Immutable X is they do have a Unity SDK with an Unreal SDK coming that helps to kind of connect any application that's built on IMX, which Illuvium is, with the rest of their tools. Now, IMX, their bread and butter is building tools for enabling the mainstream gaming market to get integrated with Web3, as well as supporting mainstream game developers building within the Web3 space. Now, that is exactly what Illuvium needs in order to truly kick off. So as we know, they have the passport, they've got their marketplace, they've got Mutable X, they've got a way to kind of represent ownership of these assets. So the mainstream gamers, maybe they might not care too much about if something's an NFT or not, but as long as they can monetize it, which is something that Illuvium does do, then there would certainly be some interest. Now, coinciding with that, we did also have other platforms kind of building similarly, SDKs to kind of support the Web3 development. Morales was kind of like the OG in the space, but we will continue to see more kind of support and more tooling for this ecosystem as a whole. So the Illuvium token, this is one that if we have a look back, let's see, we are going back to around about this 1,000, was it $1,200? Okay, so we had previously sold around about here. It was kind of here, right before the market took a real big dip. And as you can see, Illuvium has literally been dead cat bouncing for quite a while. However, this is quite interesting because recently in January, February time, we did actually have a huge push up to the upside. So we were trading around this absolute low of $38, and then we had a push up all the way up to $107. So that is more than a 3x that outperformed Bitcoin, that outperformed a lot of tokens. And as we can see, we have recently caught ourselves into this falling wedge here. And that's perfectly fine, because what I'm now starting to see, and this is the way that I see it could potentially play out, right, is this zone here, this zone between around about $42 to about $35. This is a zone that I am looking to accumulate in. And why am I looking to accumulate in that zone specifically? Well, when we had this recent swing high in January, February time, we can see that these key fib levels, these all coincide to key levels of support and resistance. And so essentially what we do need to do is that next level that we're looking to hit again, it will be around about that $58 region, and then the next region around about that $68 to $70 region. So these are the next two levels I'm expecting. Why do I believe they are going to hit those levels? Well, I do expect us to have a bit more of a pullback into this zone where we can accumulate, and that coincides quite nicely with what I'm looking at. I mainly look at divergences, and we can see since the start of the year we have been building up bearish divergence, and we do ideally need a pullback and then one more drive of divergence, and then we can look to retest 58, 68, and then I am kind of looking forward to 75. So that would give us nearly a 2x on kind of where we put in around here, and I think that is extremely possible because we did have a push up all the way up to 107 in February, which not too much happened at that time, but we did have a little bit of a bear market rally. So with a bit more volume, I believe we can definitely come up to 107. So where am I looking for us to go once we have a bit more confirmation with Bitcoin retesting that 40k region? Well, the next key level I'm looking forward is around about that $150 mark, which again is quite a fair bit away from the all-time highs. I think that's still 90% below the all-time highs. But around about this region, I believe, between $107 to $150, we are going to encounter quite a lot of, quite a bit of resistance. But once we are through, we can see it is typically been quite an easy ride, going from 200, to 300, and so on. So I believe Illuvium is one of those tokens where once it gets started, it does tend to move quite fast and quite rapidly. Other tokens, similarly, XRP, for the same reason, if you go back and look at the pricing for that historically, there have been regions of fairly low resistance where it just absolutely rockets through once it breaks certain key levels. Typically, I believe the 20 to 40 cent region was always like, fairly liquid, and so you could, very simply get a 2x off of XRP, just within days even. So I believe Illuvium, once it's smashed through these key levels, once it's formed new higher lows, higher highs above this 107 region, then I believe that is when Illuvium can really start to take off. But I do want a pullback into the zone, a third drive of bullish divergence, and then at that point I am going to be having my bags packed and ready to go for Illuvium. But you know, I would like to see a little bit more in terms of the use case of the token, and again, that is where, you know, the kind of DAO aspect comes in. You know, this is a project which does have an element of you know, community drive, community feedback in it, as part of the protocol. So I would like to see, you know, the team listen to the community and kind of continue to embed more use cases for the ILV token as, you know, this ecosystem progresses. But yeah, that is everything I wanted to go through with regards to Illuvium. It is a project I am very, very positive on. Many of you guys know I liquidated a lot of my assets, you know, NFTs and crypto, things like that, back last year summertime, and Illuvium was one of those projects I wanted to be liquid for, and now is kind of that approaching that time where I can finally start to make some plays. So really looking forward to that. But yeah, as always guys, thanks so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, support the content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.